What's up, everybody? My name's Chance, and today we're going to be playing a controlling Lifegain deck. That's right, we're taking two normally very separate ideas for decks, right? Normally you don't see a Lifegain deck that has very controlling aspects. Sure, they may rock a Conclave Tribunal or a Mortify here, they may have removal, but is it true control? No. And control decks normally, if they're gaining life, it's from the absorb they're casting, right? They're not basing their creatures on that life from the absorb. So I had the idea to take those two concepts of control and Lifegain and smash them together. And this is the beautiful baby that was spawned or born or whatever you want to say. And I realized actually as I was making this and as I was playing it that there is a lot you can do with a controlling Lifegain deck in standard right now. There are so many cards that really adhere to this kind of deck, and it's been really fun to play it. So we are playing Esper today, and before we go and hop into talking about the cards, I would like to remind everybody, if you enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like down below. It does help each and every video. If you're new here, consider subscribing. It is free and it's a great way to support the channel, as well as getting an update every time I put out a video such as this one. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about this video, future videos, or past videos, please leave them down in the comment section below. If you're looking to support the channel through a monetary means, you can hit the join button down below the video and it'll give you a list of perks you can acquire upon joining up. And last but not least, if you're looking to pick up some magic cards while supporting the channel, you can head over to tcgplayer.com and use the promo code TheNewDoctorSpillikin. Now, on into what we're actually playing with here. And I've constructed a sideboard. The sideboard isn't a true sideboard, so when you take a look at it, don't be like, oh, why is there only one copy of so many things? This sideboard is meant as a guide, right? So those of you who don't have some of the cards that I have in the deck, or those of you that are looking to maybe take the deck in a different direction. But we're gonna hop into these a little bit after the deck. Just keep in mind that I saw different routes to take with this deck, and I decided on this one because it's fun. You all know that I prefer fun over competitiveness, but I do think this is a very competitive deck. Well, maybe not very, but enough. Competitive enough. So, kicking us off, we have two copies of God's Willing, and this is going to help keep your Ajani's Pridemate alive or your Bloodthirsty Aerialist once they get up and going, but you don't ever want to have too many, right? Drawing one God's Willing and sitting on it, perfectly fine. Drawing two and sitting on two, that feels so bad. Moving us down, we have three copies of Healer's Hawk, a card that's going to be very cheap and very good at getting your Ajani's Pridemate up, your Bloodthirsty Aerialist up, and just sort of pecking your opponent down for damage as well as keeping you up for health. Next, we have two copies of Teferi's Time Twist, which I've already mentioned in a previous video. This card is excellent, sometimes even better than God's Willing at saving your creatures, because this avoids this avoids board wipes, right? It avoids a lot of things that God's Willing doesn't hit, right? So two copies, again, perfectly fine. And here's the thing. Yes, when you exile them with Teferi's Time Twist, say your Ajani was a 20/20, right? Which is huge. But if it's going to get destroyed, it's better to reset it and put it back down to a 3/3, because it does get a 1/1/1/1 counter from Time Twist, than it is to just lose the 20/20 and lose the Ajani, right? At least with the Teferi's Time Twist, you can build it back up. You can come back bigger, better, stronger. So moving us down, we have two copies of Sorin's Thirst for some cheap removal that also builds our creatures in a very efficient manner, right? The only thing that's sort of about it is the double black cost, but you're really not going to find a better value deal, I don't think. Maybe I'm having oversight on a card, because I feel like I am. I feel like there's a better card than Sorin's Thirst that does pretty much the same thing, right? But I just can't put my finger on it. Anyways, moving us down, we have Senate Guildmage. It's 2 mana 2/2, which normally doesn't seem that strong, but honestly in this deck it's so good. So pay 1 white mana, gain 2 life. Obviously that's fantastic for your Pridemate, your Bloodthirsty Aerialist, and just your health in general, right? Or you can play a blue mana, draw a card, then discard a card. And I found this to be so good. Being able to loot away in a situation where you may want your deck to go to the face with your Ajani's Pridemate, great. You can loot away maybe the Thought Erasure if your opponent's down out of cards and there's basically nothing, right? or the Drown in the Loch if there's not enough cards for you to really do anything with in your opponent's graveyard yet. The point is, and maybe not a Drown in the Loch, honestly I find those to be very, very valuable, but the point is having the ability to loot in a deck where it can go one of two directions is really, really useful. Moving us down, we have 2 copies of Drown in the Loch, which, again, I'm becoming more and more of a fan of this card every single day, especially whenever you couple it with things like Enter the God Eternals, right? To where even if your opponent's not putting a whole lot of cards in their graveyard, eventually you can put cards in the graveyard, you know, yourself. You just mill them 4. Boom. You can automatically counter and destroy creatures with 4 or less mana cost, and it's only 2 mana, so... Now, there are alternatives to Drown in the Loch, by the way. There's Tyrant's Scorn, there's Dovin's Veto if you want to stop things before it hits the field. You know, there's a lot of stuff. Moving us down, we have 2 copies of Thought Erasure to hopefully hit those things that we really don't want our opponent to play before they get to play them, such as Planeswalkers or Board Wipe, you know, all that kind of nonsense. Moving us down, we have 4 copies of Bloodthirsty Aerialist. It's on the same level as Ajani, except it has flying and, you know, gets big. Gets really big. We have 3 copies of Absorb next, which is going to counter a spell, give us 3 life. Again, this is pretty much exactly what I was talking about in that example, right? Nobody's really using that gain 3 life and counter a spell. So we're going to be focusing on both aspects of this card today. Absorb should really be the picture for this deck, right? It's kind of the what's the word I'm looking for? The embodiment of the deck, I guess. There's a better word there. Anyways, 2 copies of Teferi Time Raveler, because Mini Tef is... it is control, you know? Teferi is control. I haven't seen a Teferi that wasn't in a control deck, you know? Well, that's not true. Teferi Time Traveler, really, you just splash him in any deck, and he's kind of pretty fucking good. Anyways, moving us down, we have 3 copies of Twinblade Paladin, which is kind of like an upgraded Ajani's Pridemate, right? Because once you get to that 25 or more life, it gains Double Strike, which is awesome, awesome, awesome. And I actually don't have this card in the sideboard, but another card you could throw in is Gideon's Company right here. 4 mana, whenever you gain life, put 2 +1/+1 counters, and you can pay 4 mana and put a loyalty counter on a Gideon Planeswalker, which I don't think we have any Gideons in the deck or even in the sideboard, so... There's that. But if you think you're going to be facing up against more aggro decks, because, you know, it's going to be a little bit harder to get your life above 25 and keep it above 25 with those aggros that come in very early and get you down very quickly, then sure, go with Gideon's Company. Or if you just simply have Gideon's Company and don't have the uncommons for Twinblade, go with Gideon's Company. It's perfectly fine. Myself personally, I like Twinblade Paladin better. Moving us down, we have 2 copies of Sorin, Vengeful Bloodlord, which is going to allow us to bring creatures back, gain us life, which is, again, going to affect our Twinblade, our Bloodthirsty, our Ajani, and it's going to give all our creatures lifelink, so once those creatures get really big and swing in, you know, once you have that 20/20 Ajani or whatever the hell it is, and you swing in, you're going to gain 20 life, and it's going to buff all your creatures, and it's just like... Sorin is just... It's just... This deck... In general, I just don't know how it hasn't been done. It's so awesome, so fun, honestly. Enter the God Eternals. Next, 2 copies. I've already sort of mentioned this alongside the Drown in the Loch, but excuse me. Again, you know, deal 4 damage, so it's removal. Gain 4 life, so it's buffing all your creatures. Mill 4 cards from your opponent, so it's helping with Drown in the Loch. And amass 4, so you get a big old 4/4 down. I mean, for 5 mana, hell yeah. Right? That card's so good for this deck. Now, swapping over here to the sideboard, I have a couple things to mention. If you're looking to go for a more creature-oriented Esper control style deck, you can go for like an Impassioned Orator, right? Get that in there so every time a creature enters the battlefield, you're gaining 1 life. And then go with things like Murderous Rider, which has lifelink and has the ability to destroy something, right? Planeswalkers or creatures. Hell, you could honestly throw Murderous Rider in the deck now as is, and it still be very, very good because it has the lifelink and it has the ability to target not only creatures but Planeswalkers as well. Deputy Detention, another good pick for the Impassioned Orator if you're going for like a creature-based control deck, right? Because it's kind of like a Conclave Tribunal, except it can take more than 1 copy. It takes every copy of that same permanent on the battlefield. So really, really strong effect. Kaya, say you wanted to go like a Super Friends more styled version, Kaya would be an excellent fit in the deck. Oath of Kaya would be an excellent fit in the deck for that version as well. And honestly, Oath of Kaya could go in this version of the deck and be perfectly fine. Like I said, there are a lot of choices here that could have easily made it. Mnemonic Betrayal, if you're trying to go more janky, right? By all means, throw Mnemonic Betrayal in there. It is very expensive, and it is from Guilds of Ravnica, so you know it's a bit old, but still spicy. You have Tombbound Lich. Say you really like that loot draw effect, right, from the Senate Guildmage. Tombbound Lich can help increase that, as well as having Lifelink, Death Touch. It's only 3 mana. Really a good card, as well as if you're trying to, like I said, cycle through your deck. If you're looking for a bit more cheaper options, you have Ill-Gotten Inheritance, 4 mana enchantment. At the beginning of your turns, you're going to deal 1 damage, you're going to gain 1 life, so obviously every single turn is going to be buffing your creatures no matter what. And then you can pay 6 mana once your opponent gets low enough and just deal 4 damage straight up and end things, right? Then also very cheap, Revenge of Ravens, uncommon. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, that creature's controller loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. This is excellent against the Mono Red Cavalcade, against a lot of those just swing in super fast, right? Those Knights decks that just come in hard in the first 3 turns. You know, try and get this down, try and heal back up and diminish the health and the life difference, if that makes sense. The health you're losing and the life you're gaining. Kaya's Wrath and Time Wipe kind of serve in the same little barrier of things, right? Excuse me. Say you wanted to play a more control than Lifegain style deck, right? You can throw Board Wipe in there by all means, and then you can use things like Teferi's Time Twist if you want to still have your creatures come back, or you can just leave them dead and then you can play things like Command the Dreadhorde and bring them back, or you can use your Sorin to bring them back. You know, there's a lot of different ways of you returning things. Hell, even Time Wipe, right? You return a creature to your hand and then you can play it back down. So these two, you know, if that's your style, by all means, throw them in. They have good effects, I'm not gonna lie. Command the Dreadhorde, again, if you're trying to go more janky, or maybe if you're going with these board wipes, you want to go with Command the Dreadhorde as well. And then last but not least, we have Lochmere Serpent, which kind of plays back into this Impassioned Orator, where you're kind of playing a more creature-oriented control deck, right? So Lochmere Serpent, the cool thing about it, you can sacrifice an island, can't be blocked, it has flash. It's very powerful and diverse in what it can do. You can also sacrifice a swamp, gain a life, and draw a card. Obviously, the gaining a life has its place in this deck. Drawing a card's very good. And then furthermore, you can exile 5 target cards from an opponent's graveyard and return this card from your graveyard to your hand. So it's just sort of an ongoing annoyance for your opponent to deal with late game, right? So that all said and out of the way, that's going to do it for the deck tech or deck breakdown, and now we're going to go and hop right into some matches. Pop Ikwald, going to be our first foe for the day. Not as much land as I'd like to see, but it's fine. Generally, whenever I play 24 lands in a deck, I like to see at least 3, right? At least 3. But not today. Not today. Alright. Yeah, let's go ahead and play the Dismal Backwater. I'd rather guarantee get an Ajani down than potentially have this land that can boost my Ajani's, right? It's all about that curve. That mana curve. Now, if we can draw some lands, I think this hand is very good. Cauldron Familiar. Interesting. Oh, there's a land. Really didn't want it to be another Plains, granted. Because I want to get to that Absorb level, right? It's okay. We'll go ahead and throw down Ajani's Pridemate. We'll test the waters, right? See if they have any removal. If so, that's fine. We might hold back our other Ajani's Pridemate until we can get 1 more land, and then we can Ajani's Pridemate and potentially Teferi Time Twist. Do the twist. Wasn't that a song? A really old song? For some reason I have that in my brain as like a song off of a show my mom used to watch, if that makes sense. Not calling my mom old by any means. Never know which ones of these she might watch. Anyways, if my opponent would take less time on their turns, it would be fantastic. Okay, So, interesting decision here. You know what? I'm gonna go for the aggressive play, or in my eyes, the aggressive play. I'm gonna play the Teferi, bounce the kitty cat. Senate Guildmage, that's actually pretty good. I'm happy about that. I still want to land. I'm not sure what's up with this. I've only drawn 3. Hello. I got 24 in the deck. I would like some more, por favor. But yeah, Senate Guildmage could be really, really good for us. Oh, and the reason I was saying the Teferi is the more aggressive play is we very well could have just swung in with the Ajani's Pridemate there and not for. Ooh, that is so good. Okay. So that's happening. That's happening.
No, I am not making this up as
And honestly, I think we're just skipping here. Yeah. You're gonna say, Chance, why would you skip there? It doesn't make much sense. Well, let's see how smart our opponent is. If they go directly for the Teferi, we may just let it slide, right? Let's see. Pass into attackers. Now we have 2 options here. We can block with the Ajani's Pridemate and then use Teferi's Time Twist to bring it back, or we can save our mana for the Absorb. I'm going to block, and then do the Teferi Time Twist. So this will bring our Ajani back at the end of their turn. Now, something you need to note. If your opponent goes to remove your Ajani in their end turn, do not Teferi's Time Twist it, unless you're well aware of this. It only brings your creature back at the beginning of the next end step. So if it's already in the end step, then the beginning has obviously already happened. The beginning of the end, right? In which case, it won't register until your end step. So keep that in mind. I'm really glad we decided to go with the twist there, by the way. Now, this turn, I really want to keep mana up for Absorb. Don't get me wrong, I do. But at the same time, we have this beautiful play of being able to get down the Pridemate, the Senate Guildmage, and buff both of our Pridemates. So, I think I'm going to play a little bit risky. I think I'm going to go for the go wide strat and really just boost my board here. Now again, this is greedy. I'm not gonna lie. This is very greedy. Very well could have just kept back the Absorb, played the land, you know, been safe. But when have I been known to be safe, right? And granted, that's what a control deck is for, right? It's for being a little bit safer. I'm also a little bit greedy when it comes to Magic. I guess that's because like I'm trying to like push the boundaries constantly, you know. I'm constantly trying to find something new and exciting in Magic because I enjoy the game and I enjoy the premise of it a lot. If that makes sense. And then that's how I try to go about every game, you know. I focus on the game itself and not the developers or any of that, you know. If the developers do something seriously messed up, then yeah, sure, I'll take a look at it, but okay. I was wondering how they were going to get the second point of damage there, but right, you sacrifice a food to get the Cauldron Familiar back down. Not bad, not a bad little play they have there. With 5 mana, I'm thinking the play is pretty obvious. We just go for Enter the God Eternals, take out that Mayhem Devil, and yeah. Or we can go for the Ajani's Pridemate, keep the Absorb up for whatever they may play. But if we do that, there's a chance they could just kill our Ajani's Pridemate, the small one, with the Cauldron Familiar, correct? So it kind of feels like this is the right play. Alright, so let's do that and that. Ooh, we actually got rid of 2 Mayhem Devils there. That's really... Oh. I was like, what are you doing? I tried to click on the graveyard here. That's really good, though. Alright, so we killed one, and we milled one. Fantastic. Alright, getting in a little bit of damage. We got a pretty sizable board, right? 2 4/4s and a 5/5. Woo. Sir Conrad. Oh, that would have been the turn to absorb, right? Right there. Just boop, gone. Oh well. I didn't want them to use their Mayhem Devil to just right off the bat. Ooh, we got the concede. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Alright, so game 1 being picked up, honestly, pretty easily. Like I said, this deck it's a lot better than what I originally thought it would be. Like when I spawned it in my mind, you know, I was like, oh, that's so crazy. That's going to be one of those super janky decks that doesn't really work. But in all reality, the concept is fucking awesome. Alrighty, low log? I'm not quite sure. Low yog? Anyways, on into a game 2. I'm gonna keep it. Maybe we won't flood, but like, what? This hand, these 3 cards in combination, if we're able to get them down, we'll be sitting very good. Now, granted, this looks like your standard Lifegain hand, right? You see no aspects of control in this, pretty much. Skargan Elkite. All right. Heard. Alright, so I think we are you know what? No. I wasted health there. Whatever. We're playing a Lifegain deck. We'll gain it back. Do they throw haste on it? They do. The reason I stopped myself there. Wow. This is going to cost me a lot of health. That's okay. The reason I stopped myself there is I wanted to have mana for the Gods Willing up when the Ajani came down. I didn't think about that, so it cost me 2 health. May very well cost me the game. 2 health is nothing to joke about. I mean, hell, it's what? It's a 10th of your life? It's 10% of your life. 2 health is 10% of your life. So, yeah, I don't know exactly. Ooh. If they're just going all in on the aggressive, then I think this is perfectly fine. Yeah. I actually have some good stuff going here. Oh, I could shock again. Oh, it's so unfortunate. So, I could shock again and get down the Sorin. Gain 3, 4 life. It's not bad. But then I can't play this next turn. If I play this turn, I can't play the Sorin, and that's all I can play. Alright, so do we play for this turn or do we play for next turn? That's the true question, right? I guess we play for this turn. Because Sorin's Thirst doesn't exactly kill the Gruul Spellbreaker anyways, so this will at least put our Ajani up to a big old 4/4. Even if they do find a way to remove our Sorin, you know, we have our Ajani started down a good path. Next time he goes, or next turn he goes up to a 5/5. I think that was the right play. Now, granted, they could just play another Spellbreaker, give it haste, boom, Sorin's dead. You know. Or they could just buff this Spellbreaker, right? If they have a Colossus. Courage Colossus. Is it Courage Colossus? I know it's Colossus. Collision Colossus. I don't know where I got Courage from. No way. They gotta have a Lightning Strike or something. No? Oh, Sorin makes it out alive. Alrighty. I don't think we swing in this turn. Keep up the God's Willing. Keep the Ajani back. Skargan Hellkite. Probably comes in with haste. Alright, so Sorin's probably dead here, yeah? But I'm at least going to get something out of it. No? If they don't kill Sorin here, fantastic. Oh, amazing. I think they should have went for it, personally. Now, I can play her and start building there. She can get up decent size this turn, I suppose. If I do play her, I can still have mana for God's Willing. Or I can play Sorin's Thirst and Absorb in the same turn. I think I like this play much better. So let's get down to Bloodthirsty Aerialist. Hit him in the face. Boom, boom. And I'm going to say no attack. Now, we could have attacked with Ajani's Pridemate to make the Bloodthirsty Aerialist big enough to kill the Skargan Hellkite. Ooh, what are they shocking in for? 6 mana. Maybe I should have left up Absorb. Crawl Harpooner. This is actually bad for us. How many creatures do they have? They have 1. Fuck. Alright. So then maybe we should have went with the Sorin's Thirst. I don't want Tranquil Cove. Sure, it gains me life, makes my creatures bigger, yada yada yada. So Sorin's dead here. Why did they shock in that land? 4 mana. They still have 4 mana. Questing Beast, maybe? Not understanding. Alright. Alright, I'll give you the Sorin. Fine. My hands are tied.
This will not be my final.
There's Questing Beast. So I was right. I mean, technically. Alright, so now we can go here. Those 2 creatures are big. Keep up mana for Absorb and smash in for 4. Cause I'm fine if they want to race me with the Skargan Hellkite. You know, I got a little bit more of a lead on them. All right. I'm fine with taking the 4 damage. We're playing a Lifegain deck, you know? The point is to Lifegain. There you go. And they have 1 mana left up to give the Shifting Ceratops. Oh, they're just gonna scoop. Fantastic. Okay, so, you know, game 2. Not as easy as game 1, but still picking it up and still feeling in control for the majority of the game. Anyways, on into a game 3. River. River. This hand. If these lands were split, I would keep this hand in a fucking heartbeat. I don't like this. I don't like this. Alright. Fuck, maybe I should have gotten rid of the Sorin's Thirst. I love when an opponent, and granted they may be playing an opt here, okay? They very well may be playing an opt. But I love when an opponent shocks in a land and they just skip their turn. Like, nope. Nothing to see here. Move along. Alright, so I actually don't want another land. I want some creatures. I want some body to my board, you know? Oh, Spectral Sailor. Right. Okay, so it could be Azorius Flyers. Azorius Flyers. Oh, Jessica. Just kidding, it's Jessica. Okay. You know what? I think we're gonna take a turn to take a hit. Like I could have shocked that in, played the Sorin Stirs, basically regained the life that I just gained or just spent. But instead, I'm gonna. Ooh. Okay, so then, I don't like this. I don't like this because it feels and smells like a quench. Oh, I don't like this at all. But I kind of have to play into it, right? Unless I just save my mana and go for the Sorin's Thirst on their turn. Remove them. They don't get to remove mine. But what's the chances of them actually playing something on their turn come next time? 4 mana, 0. Alright, made my decision. We're passing it back to their turn. I shocked myself for nothing. It happens, apparently. It's a common theme here on the channel. Okay. Let's see. Dovin's Veto. Oh, maybe that's what they were hiding. But I'd much rather them get it out now, you know, and now they have no mana with which to counter. And now I can go here, or I could shock and go here or here. I really don't want that, so we're just gonna go here. That'll be fun. I would love it if I would have had a God's Willing or Teferi's Time Twist or something of that sort in hand. But alas, I do not. It's alright. Let's see. Jessica. Whew. What could Jessica be playing? Well, here's the thing. With Brandborn and Cutthroat down, they're going to have more incentive to play shit during my turn. Right? That's why getting the Dovin's Veto out during their turn was so crucial. Are we going to block this? No, they probably have a shock in hand. Hell no. I'll take a point of damage to avoid a shock almost any day. Oh, that's so good. So good. Yes. Let me see that hand. You've been keeping back Riva. Is it supposed to be like river? I think I just now got that. Oh wow, never mind. It's red or green. Okay, so we don't even have anything that's red or green. So the only thing we really need to get rid of here is the Bone Crusher Giant, right? So it can't just automatically deal damage. I mean, sure, they have a 5/5 flyer, but I think we can get to the point of dealing with that before they can get to the point of getting it down. So yeah, let's get rid of that Bone Crusher Giant. Get out of here. And we don't need another Twinblade. We got enough creatures in hand as is right now. So they only have 2 cards in the graveyard. Knowing that, what do we do? What do we do? So they were gonna Bone Crusher Giant me last turn. That was their plan. Huh? I guess we could go ahead and kill the Brandborn Cutthroat with the Drown in the Loch if we just absolutely wanted to. But if I'm going to do that, I might as well save it for instant speed, right? Correct the mundo. So swing in, we're going to take 1 point of damage. Yeah, I think that's the right play. It makes good efficiency of our mana, And again, I think we'll be able to get our Bloodthirsty Aerialist to the point of being able to deal with the Cavalier of Gales before they'll be able to get to the Cavalier of Gales being useful. We'll see though. So they're up to 5 mana. Get rid of the Cutthroat. Hopefully they didn't draw into Counterspell, obviously, you know, they did get to draw the... Oh, that's rough. But again, at least we're making them cast it during their turn, so they're not getting any additional benefit out of it, right? Now they're up to 5 mana here, and they don't really have anything too powerful, so I could play this Sorin, probably keep him alive, and get a decent bit of life gain. What do I have to bring back from the... Oh, Twinblade Paladin, that's right, because I surveilled it away. That might not have been a bad play either. Oh, no, it would have killed my Sorin. No. Okay, so... Oh, they hit the land, so they get the Cavalier of Gales down for sure, right? They're going 3 at Sorin, Cavalier of Gales. Now I have 1 mana left over, so I guess they could... No, because it's blue, right? Yeah. Okay, so... Yeah. Yes, play exactly as I say. Now, I'm thinking... Oh... I want to get Teferi down before they untap, obviously. Because they just got to... Wow, they put those 2 back. That means they got set up very nice. But yeah, I want to keep them from playing spells at instant speed, you know? But at the same time, building your board state is good. Alright, so I don't think I need to worry about the Twinblade Paladin for right now. Could play Bloodthirsty Aerialist. Or play Teferi. If we play Teferi, we bounce the Cavalier of Gales. I actually like that. I actually like that a lot. Alright, so we're basically trading our Teferi out here, right? Because Teferi's gonna die. But we're gonna gain a whole bunch of life. Put our Bloodthirsty Aerialist in a pretty good position. And our Sorin should be fine and safe. Maybe that wasn't the right play. Maybe I should have went with the second Bloodthirsty Aerialist, got it building. I still could have swung in with the first Bloodthirsty Aerialist, which would have built the second one twice, so it would have been at a 4-5. So we had a 4-5, and, well, this still would have been a 6-7, so... 4-5 and a 6-7 on the board, and we would have had Teferi in our hand for next turn. Was that the right play, or was that too frivolous with my Teferi? Because we're playing up against a deck that wants to play things on my turn, right? Speaking of wanting to play things on my turn, play this, counter with Drown, play the Dismal Backwater. I'm thinking that's what we do. Obviously they have some sort of something here, correct? The removal something for Bloodthirsty Aerialist. They only have 3 cards in their graveyard. That's scary. To say the least, that's scary. But hey, we're all the way back up to 19 health. Fantastic. So we probably won't be able to counter whatever they play here, right? 3 mana. Draw a card. They get something. Spectral Sailor. Well, we have to counter that, right? We have to, so they don't have a blocker for this. We can just go to the dome. Oh, I didn't expect that to work. Alrighty. Yeah, game 1, 2, and 3 being picked up. Hey, I kind of like that. They were like increasingly more difficult, right? That was really fun and really a great way to showcase this deck and the idea for this deck, controlling Lifegain deck, where you play few creatures, right? We don't have a whole lot of creatures in the deck, more than a normal control deck does for sure. But you can play even fewer if you want to. But then you just focus on making those creatures really big and making sure they stay really safe. Anyways, thanks everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like down below. And as always, I'll see you either later tonight or tomorrow. Peace.